Ever wondered why we care so much about keeping up with others? Or why your neighbor's shiny new car suddenly makes you question your own life choices? In Chapter 16 of The Psychology of Money, Morgan Housel dives deep into how social comparison impacts our financial decisions, often without us even realizing it. In this video, we'll uncover the fascinating ways other people influence our financial behavior, how the chase for status can sabotage our goals, and why focusing on your own definition of success is the ultimate financial superpower. If you've ever felt the pressure to match someone else's lifestyle or questioned your financial choices after seeing someone's highlight reel, this chapter will hit close to home. Let's explore why understanding these dynamics can help you take control of your money, your happiness, and your life. Stick around. It's time to focus on you. Welcome to Book Summary, where you can unlock the power of books in minutes, not months. Get the key insights, chapter by chapter, and start learning smarter, not harder. Let's begin. In Chapter 16 of The Psychology of Money, Morgan Housel delves into the profound influence of social comparison on our financial decisions. The chapter is an eye-opener for anyone who has ever felt the subtle, or not so subtle, pull to keep up with others. Housel explains that money decisions are rarely made in isolation. Instead, they are often shaped by what we see, hear, and feel about the financial choices of those around us. Whether it's a neighbor's new car, a friend's luxury vacation, or a coworker's Instagram-worthy lifestyle, these comparisons can lead us down paths that aren't aligned with our true goals. Housel introduces the idea that people's financial decisions are deeply personal and based on unique circumstances, income, upbringing, goals, and risk tolerance. Yet, we often forget this and benchmark ourselves against others without knowing the full story. For example, someone buying an expensive car might seem wealthy, but they could be drowning in debt to maintain appearances. Meanwhile, a person driving a modest car and living in a small home might have substantial savings and no financial stress. The takeaway? What you see on the surface rarely tells the whole truth. A compelling real-world example comes from the 2008 financial crisis. Many people bought homes they couldn't afford, influenced by the societal belief that owning a big home equated to success. Social pressures to conform to these expectations caused financial ruin for millions. Housel argues that this tendency to compare leads to poor decisions because we forget that our goals, resources, and timelines are different from others. Housel also highlights the problem of keeping up with the Joneses. This cultural phenomenon pushes people to spend more than they can afford, chasing fleeting moments of status. But the irony is, most people are too busy focusing on their own lives to notice what others are doing for long. He explains that the desire to impress often leads to unnecessary financial stress, stealing both happiness and freedom. One of the chapter's most valuable lessons is the importance of defining your own version of success. Instead of letting societal norms dictate what wealth or achievement should look like, Housel encourages readers to take a step back and reflect on their values. Do you want financial security? Freedom to pursue hobbies? A quiet life with minimal stress? These goals are far more meaningful than trying to compete with someone else's highlight reel. Housel touches on the concept of social proof and how it drives irrational behavior. When people see a crowd rushing toward a particular investment, lifestyle, or trend, they're tempted to follow, even if it doesn't make sense for their own financial situation. This herd mentality often leads to financial bubbles, where people overinvest in something simply because others are doing it. The solution? Stay grounded and stick to a plan that aligns with your long-term vision. A particularly powerful insight from the chapter is this: wealth isn't about displaying your money. It's about using it to create the life you want. Housel reminds us that the ultimate financial goal isn't to impress others, but to achieve peace of mind and freedom. By focusing less on comparison and more on your personal aspirations, you can make decisions that truly serve your happiness. To drive this point home, Housel uses the example of Warren Buffett. Despite being one of the wealthiest individuals on the planet, Buffett has famously lived in the same modest home for decades. He doesn't chase trends or seek validation through flashy purchases. Instead, he remains true to his values and goals. This example illustrates that financial success isn't about outward appearances, but about inward fulfillment. So, what can we learn from this chapter? First, avoid comparing yourself to others because their financial decisions are based on factors you can't see. Second, recognize the influence of social proof and resist the urge to follow the crowd blindly. Third, define your version of success and align your financial decisions with that vision. And finally, remember that real wealth isn't about what others see. It's about the freedom and security you create for yourself. This chapter is a wake-up call for anyone feeling overwhelmed by the pressure to live up to societal standards. It's a reminder that chasing external validation often leads to frustration, and that true contentment comes from staying true to yourself. Housel's insights encourage us to step off the hamster wheel of comparison and focus on building a life that reflects our values, not someone else's. In a world where social media amplifies comparison like never before, this chapter feels more relevant than ever. It teaches us to question the stories we tell ourselves about money, status, and success. By doing so, we can make smarter financial choices that lead to long-term happiness. Ultimately, You and Me isn't just a lesson about money. It's a lesson about life. It challenges us to prioritize our peace and purpose over fleeting moments of status. And in doing so, it gives us the tools to not only build wealth, but also live a more intentional and fulfilling life. Thank you for spending your time with us today and exploring the insightful lessons from Chapter 16 of the Psychology of Money. If this chapter opened your eyes to the power of defining your own path, you won't want to miss what's next. In Chapter 17, The Seduction of Pessimism, Morgan Housel uncovers why bad news grabs our attention, how it shapes our financial decisions, and why optimism is often underrated in the world of money. It's a chapter packed with fascinating insights and strategies you can't afford to overlook. So, go ahead and hit play on the next video to continue this journey of financial wisdom. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay tuned for more life-changing ideas. See you in the next one.